All right, my friends, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Like I said, Magic Online's in an extended downtime right now, so we're doing a little recap of my trip and where I was. Of course, I was gone for a month. No streams, no YouTube videos, except for the few that I had like scheduled. And so where did I go for a month? Some know, some don't know. I figured I'd make a little video to let you guys know what I was up to. Long trip. Packed the car up. We started our trip going to, or the itinerary was SCGCON for the SCG Invitational. That was right after my birthday. It was June 7th, 8th, and 9th, I think. Then from there, it was supposed to go to Frank Skarren, my good friend of mine's beach house. He used to have a bunch of friends hang out in his parents' beach house for the week. Then down to the house. I bought a new house in, for those who don't know, in South Carolina. Nicole and I bought a fixer-upper house last fall. We've been working on it and working on it and working on it. We're finally moving in like this month, but still a lot of work to do. So I went down to the house for 3 weeks to work on that, and then SCG Atlanta, and then I came home. So that's the itinerary. A little slideshow of pictures here. I'll talk about my trip and about the tournaments and about the house and stuff, and kind of catch you guys up on what I've been doing for the last month when I wasn't streaming. I'm not lazy. I'm just was busy doing other things. Unfortunately, the next month or so is going to be rough, as the last few months have been, as far as streaming and being super consistent. What's up, Michael? Thanks for resub. Obviously, very, very busy working on the house to get ready to move and stuff. It's been a crazy, crazy time, and all your support's awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We start here, pack the car up. I actually brought the computer. My plan was to stream while I was down there. Like turn on the internet, set up the computer, and work on the house, stream, work on the house, stream. But there's just far too much to do. So as you can see, I packed up the monitor. My speakers and stuff are in that at Yoo-Hoo box. I would never advocate anyone drink Yoo-Hoo. It's disgusting. It's chocolate water. And John's old diaper box from the garage had some books actually for Tan and Grace's wife, who's a teacher. And unfortunately, those didn't get to her, but that's a spoiler. So packed up the car, and we were off to the Invitational, where round one got a feature match against Owen Turtenwald, obviously one of the best players in the world. He was playing Hollow One. This is a really bad picture of me. I don't know why I'm making this stupid face. It stinks to be a good picture otherwise. But yeah, so round one got a feature match against Owen. Owen was playing Hollow One. I almost won game one. I almost stole it. It's a pretty bad matchup. But I was defeated. Invitational didn't go great. Invitational, I played this deck. I played Esper Control in Standard. I'd been playing it on stream, and it seemed good. But I ended up not being super impressed with it, honestly. I lost to red decks like 4 times, which I was beating very consistently on Magic Online. And all my games felt so awkward. Like I lost to Todd Stevens, where like kept this kind of awkward hand, killed a creature or two, fell behind, cast a Glimmer, drew 2 counterspells and died. Just like drawing all the things in the wrong order. I don't know. So I played this deck. I think I went like 4-4 with it. I was so happy with it too going into the tournament. But yeah, it ended up being not impressive, unfortunately. Kind of tanked my entire Invitational, honestly. I went 6-2 with Jeskai Control. I lost to Owen, and then I lost to... Actually, I'm sorry, I went 5-3. I lost to an Ironworks player. It's a pretty bad matchup. And then I lost to Humans the round after I played the Ironworks player, and I just played really, really bad. It was like the second round of day 2. I was kind of on tilt for my Ironworks matchup. I just played really bad, lost to Humans. Should have never lost either game. Just played awful. But this deck's great. I played this exact list in Minneapolis, my top 8 of the Open. Ended up playing the same list a few days ago in Atlanta. Deck's great. Very, very happy with it. And then, so Invitational made day 2, did in top 8. And then card up with Frank Skarren and Andrew Jessup. And drove 4 hours to North Carolina to play in the RPTQ. So, Team RPTQ, Team Standard, X-Death, welcome back, my friend, thank you. Team RPTQ, Team Unified, meaning you can't share cards. So, I got to play Blue-Eye Control, Andrew played Mono Red, and Frank played the Green-Black Snake deck, which was really bad, unfortunately. We saw Jeff Cunningham had been doing well on Moto with it, went 8-0 in the Mox with it. Frank is a big fan of Winding Constrictor. That was pretty bad, unfortunately. But so we made it all the way through the Swiss, and we won our top 8 match. and then we top 4. We lost. Spoiler alert. Yeah, pretty rough. Top 2 qualify for the Pro Tour. So pretty heartbreaking loss. Basically lost the finals of the PTQ to not qualify. The blue white deck was great though. I was very, very happy with it. I ended up wishing that I had played it in the Invitational, but c'est la vie. So that was the RPTQ. Again, big heartbreaker. Me, Dan, and Frank were all pretty heartbroken. It's pretty rough to lose that last match for the Pro Tour, obviously. We all really wanted to qualify. It is what it is, though. The silver lining is that when you top 8 the RPTQ, you qualify for the next RPTQ without having to play PPTQs. And I've been a pretty vocal naysayer of PPTQs. I'm not a big fan of those. So pretty happy that I'm just queued for the next RPTQ. Again, I mostly focus on the SCG Tour. Playing in Pro Tours is not really a priority, but they're fun to play in. So if I get a chance to play, or qualify, I'll do it. I don't really play Grand Prix, so RPTQs is basically it. My last Pro Tour was Pro Tour Aether Revolt, which is in Dublin. So we'll see. So we finished the RPTQ in North Carolina, get back in the car, and drive to Virginia Beach for Frank Skarren's beach house. And again, I better picture the beach house. That's the crew. But Frank's family rents out a beach house every year, and we invited. It was Frank, of course, Frank's brother Nick, and Frank invited a bunch of his friends, and Nick invited a bunch of his friends, and really, really good time. Basically, just a super nice beach house. There's a bunch of rooms and bedrooms and tables and common areas, and basically got to go on vacation for like 2.5 days, which was nice after driving for forever and ever and ever. We played all sorts of games. You can see it's quite the crew here. My car for the Invitational, Dan and Andrew Jessup, Pete Ingram, Aaron Rubenstein, Seth and his family were there, which is great. Seth Manfield, Josh Cho, and then a bunch of Nick's friends as well. So Magic players, non-Magic players, family. It's a great crew, a lot of fun. Had a really, really good time. You can see here, we went to Hibachi, which is really cool. Me and Frank played a lot of degenerate gambling happening in this house. We were playing Kirby's Dream Course for money. That was fun. We were playing, we played some beer pong. We played mini golf, and we played poker first. Did a little like 8-person poker tournament, and I got knocked out like third hand. Cho flopped a straight on me, and I flopped like top 2. That's like a $5 tournament, so I was just pretty happy to get it in. And I lost that, but I won the money back in mini golf. We had, I think there was 8 of us playing mini golf. We did best score wins the pot, and I won. I do play golf though, so it was kind of unfair. But what are you gonna do? So I played Kirby's Dream Course. I played Code Names, which was a lot of fun. We played. What else did we do? We did a M25 draft. Seth had some M25 packs. We did that. My team won. I got a foil Eidolon on the Great Revel and a foil Brainstorm, and that's pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. And but yeah, super fun time. Just able to relax for like 3 days, which I haven't really gotten to do in the last like 6 months, honestly. So that was really fun. But then 2 days later, right back in the car. Where are we going? We're going to South Carolina. Once again, I said earlier, we bought a house in South Carolina, fixer-upper. I've been working on it for the last few months, going down when I can to work on the house. Tons of work done already. We had drywall to fix and demolition to do and all sorts of stuff. And there we are. In the house, you can see it. This is my kitchen right here. Me, Nicole, and John's kitchen. We tore out the sinks, tore the cabinets out, had to patch up the walls, tore everything out of the house, basically. When the demolition was done, the house was drywall, concrete, no bathrooms, no kitchen. So we're rebuilding the house, and yeah, it's been a lot of work. This trip, I went down, you can see we got a lot of spackling done. We had spackling to do and sanding. This is the kitchen. This is the other way. And this is the living room. Fireplace is nice. I like fireplaces. And this is my office. I actually took down these walls. This is my fault. I actually chose to take down these walls because I put in a Rockwell like soundproofing insulation. So for when I'm streaming, I'm yelling at people top decking on me and getting real salty and yelling and stuff. And I'm not going to wake up John and Nicole. So soundproof the walls, which is really cool. but I had to obviously re-drywall, re-spackle, and there I am spackling some more. And spackling is kind of fun, actually. You know, for those who don't know what spackling is, basically when you put a drywall up, you need to fill in the cracks and the nail holes and stuff so it's flat. So you use spackle and you use the blade and go over it, make sure it's really, really flat while filling in the holes. And that part's fun. The problem is sanding. When you're done, it's kind of goopy. So you gotta take the sanding thing and sand it down and make it flat, and just dust gets everywhere. It's awful. So spackling, I sanded the entire house. No pictures there because it wasn't even fun. And then we had to tape everything and paint the whole house because the house has been sitting there for 7 years and smells and the walls are kind of gross. So we went to Home Depot. We rented a spray painter, which is used to spray primer everywhere. We had to prime the walls, the ceilings, everything. So first we got to tape everything. You can see here. Tape all the windows up to protect everything so we can just go nuts and spray everything. Tape the entire house. Took forever, obviously. And then, bam, spray time. You can see on the ceiling we had to pull the lights out, put bags around them. And then this thing sprayed. It's actually pretty cool. We sprayed everywhere. Sprayed it all. Sprayed everything. Just made a huge mess. You can see my Deadpool versus Taco t-shirt that I got from a thrift store for $1, so I wouldn't wreck my clothes. And just spraying the entire house. Spray, spray, spray. Got my Bane mask on, which is pretty fun. When you have finished spraying, you have my permission to dry. So that was fun. And there's my future brother-in-law, Mark. Huge help. Big shout out to Mark. Mark, I love you, bud. He's been so helpful. Mark is super handy, and I'm not super handy, so Mark's been a huge help. That's Mark spraying the ceiling on the other end of the house. This is Mark spraying the trims. Yeah, just a lot of work. This was an entire weekend, Friday to Sunday, working 12 hours a day to get the whole house primed. And then once it was primed, it was time for me to actually paint. Because primer, of course, is just white paint you put under everything. And I picked out all our colors, and I practiced in the closets. I did all the closets first, and it's obviously hard. You gotta like paint around the edges and make sure you don't go on the trims and stuff. And yeah, so painted all the closets, don't go in those. And of course we got John's room here. John picked out his color, Vegas green. John's very, very excited about his color. This is me about halfway done with the room. And so I painted John's room. You can see in the background, John's bathroom is just trashed. The bathrooms aren't done yet. We're waiting for a contractor to finish the appraisal on them, and the contractor is going to do both bathrooms and the kitchen. So we're waiting on that, unfortunately. And yeah, very green. Nicole and I like vibrant, bright colors. I don't think I have the color palette on me. If Nicole, if you're watching and have it upstairs, you can bring it down. But our color palette is pretty vibrant. John's room is actually not on the palette because we let John pick whatever color he wanted. But definitely some nice, lively, vibrant colors. I'm not about subtlety. This is our house. I don't care about resale value. I don't care about none of that stuff. This is our house. We're working for it. We tore it down to make it the way we wanted, and now we're doing it. Ninja Turtles green, sweet. So it's called Vegas green. It's actually like the color of the felt in Vegas, which is pretty cool. And I think I hear John coming down the stairs, or Nicole coming down to bring the palette down. So yeah, lots of painting. You have it? Thanks, so you can see here, we got, this is our color scheme.
That green wasn't green enough for him.
Yeah, this green wasn't green enough. So John wanted a different green. This is going to be like the living room and the hallways. We're thinking about the purple for our bedroom. This kind of like reddy maroon color down here is in my office. The light purple is going to be the master bathroom, and that light teal is going to be John's bathroom. The yellow is going to be the kitchen, and nice lively colors. You know, I like a nice lively house. So that's our color scheme. I know, very, very exciting, right? So that was 3 weeks of basically hell. I just got up and worked on the house for 12 hours, then went to sleep. I actually watched a lot of the Marvel movies. My buddy Matt is huge into Marvel. He cosplays as Captain America and Star-Lord. His cosplays are awesome, by the way. And he's been bugging me to watch the Marvel movies. So I watched one Marvel movie every night for the entire trip. and now I'm caught up all the way to Black Panther. I have to watch Black Panther and then Infinity War. So they're mostly good. Guardians was good. Civil War was good. The Avengers was good. But yeah, so that was my life for 3 weeks. Was literally just get up, work on this house for 12 hours, eat dinner, go to bed, watch a Marvel movie, and do it all again. So after 3 weeks of that, it was time to get in the car. Time to get in the car and drive to Atlanta for the Open. Thanks for following. Of course, SCG Atlanta was last weekend. I drove it was like 4 hours from my house to Atlanta. Drove to Atlanta, and tournament went pretty good. We'll get to that. I went 8-1 on day one, playing the same Jessica I've played in the last 3 tournaments. And we went out Saturday night and went to Dave & Buster's, and we broke the basketball machine. Now, one of my favorite things at Dave & Buster's is these like pop and shot, basketball machines. And we played, me and Ross Merriam played when we first got in. I got 153 points, which is insane. That's a lot. Because when you play with lots of people, every time you score a certain number of points, the timer goes up, but it goes up for everyone. So everyone's kind of like helping each other. So I got 153, was feeling good about it. Then we came back, and it was me and Todd and Ross. We all lined up, and we all shot at the same time, and we killed it. And I was just draining shots. And timer keeps going up. I hit 199. I make a shot. I'm like, it didn't count. Make a shot, didn't count. The machine actually caps at 199. You can't get any more points than that, which makes no sense because like it's not an integer number or like a number that would make sense in programming. Just like an arbitrary, just stops at 199. So like when I got the previous high score, I got the high score. I'm high-fiving people and stuff. Then we play again and we like break the machine. So I hit 199. We keep going. Todd hits 199, and we all keep going. We're like, what's going on? And we just stop because the timer's still going, but the score's not going up. So I'll turn around and everyone's like, what happened? So we broke the machine, and you can see, maybe you saw I tweeted about it, how we're going to quit Magic and be a pro pop and shot, super shot team. But yes, that was the trip. On day 2, unfortunately, I ran afoul of an Ironworks player. Ended up getting a draw. He like comboed in game 3 and took a while, but fizzled. And then like I was probably gonna win on turn 7. I couldn't kill him on turn 5. Kind of stinks. My first draw in like a really long time, which really sucks. And I took a rough loss the following round to Infect, which I really should beat most of the time. And I like mulliganed 4 game 1, and then just had a pretty bad hand in game 2. And I lost to a Shaper Sanctuary, and that actually knocked me out of contention. I thought that I would be live at X3-1. So the last round, I think I have a win in, and I win. I beat Grixis Death Shadow, and then I just come in like 11th, and just wasn't even close. I think one X3 actually missed. It was a big tournament, so kind of stinks. Obviously, top 16's fine, but look over that next top 8, of course. And then I got to drive 15 hours home. I drove 5 hours. I literally just left Atlanta, forgot Tannen's books. We got some fast lunch/dinner with like Ross and Rick from BCW and Boot to the Head and stuff, and got on the road and started driving. Drove for 5 hours, got a hotel room, woke up, drove for 12 hours, went home. Got home at like midnight on Monday. Just shot. I've just been shot. Super long month, but now I'm home. I'm pretty happy to be home. I wanted to give a shout out real fast to a podcast I was just listening to called Revisionist History. And I got a tip on this one from Brad Nelson the last time I did Versus videos in Roanoke. And Brad was like, listen to this podcast. It's really, really good. You got to listen to it. And really, really cool. It sounds kind of like pretentious and esoteric. The theme of the podcast is basically things in history that aren't really as they seem. The episode that got me hooked was an episode about, in basketball, the best way to shoot a free throw is underhand. The best free throw shooter of all time shot like 97%. Only shot underhand, and was so much better than everyone. It was a joke. Like, he missed like 10 free throws in one season, whereas LeBron misses like 150 on average. And he actually got Wilt Chamberlain, who was a teammate of his, who was a terrible free throw shooter, to shoot underhand for one season. And that was a season that he scored his 100-point game. He made 30 free throws that game. But by the end of the year, he just couldn't do it anymore because he didn't want to be seen as a sissy for shooting underhand. Just like insane that like these athletes are paid millions of dollars to play this game the best they possibly can. They train their entire lives and they have a better way to do it, but won't do it because it's like a sissy thing to do, to shoot underhand. Super interesting. They're all like that. They touch a lot of different topics, but really, really interesting. Check it out. Revisionist History is a cool podcast. That was my entire... I listened to about 2 seasons of this on my 12-hour drive. Just so much information. But really, really cool. Check it out. Wanted to give that a shout out. But that was my trip. So now I'm home. Jessica has a rough matchup for KCI. I think it's in KCI's favor pretty far game 1. And game 2 and 3 are probably all right. But Jin, you were the judge in the feature matches? Oh, sweet. Awesome. I mean, my KCI opponent seemed nervous. He you couldn't undo the mana ability because he just like did it. He sacked the things, put him in his graveyard, had 6 floating, and then was like ready to make his next play. Looked at Inventor's Fair and was like, "Uh-oh, I can't activate this." And it was a very clear, like, you play a lot of Magic, you can tell when someone's like, "Oh, I screwed up." And he tried to go back, but he couldn't. Obviously, whatever. It is what it is. But Rick Barry, that's the guy. But yeah, so that was my trip. That was why I didn't stream for you all for a month. Trying to make a little short video explaining it to y'all. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can follow, and now you'll know what's up. If you're watching on the live stream, obviously. Apparently Magic Online is up now. I don't think I have time for a full league, though, because I got to bring John to hockey practice. So we'll see. But thanks for watching the video on YouTube. More videos are coming very, very soon. So thanks for watching. And I appreciate your support while I was gone. I'll see you guys soon.